G'day ladies and gents, and welcome to War Thunder with Mags, and welcome to a quick battle in the P-63A-10 Kingcobra. Now the Russian P-63A-10 is the aircraft that you have a chance of winning if you complete the air task within this year's Summer Madness event. I won't be going too deep into the details of the event itself this video. Needless to say, I don't particularly agree with the way it operates. But that doesn't matter at the moment. This video is all about this plane, and this plane at one time was the most ridiculously overpowered aircraft in War Thunder. And before anyone dives into the comment section of this video to say, Mags, was it more powerful than? Yes, it was. It was stupid. Thankfully, time and a few flight model adjustments have brought the way this plane handles back into line a little bit. However, it is still an insanely powerful aircraft. It's just no longer it's no longer as bad as it was. This aircraft used to be battle rating 3.7, but had performance high enough to compete against aircraft at around battle rating 5.7. These days, it finds itself placed at battle rating 4, but has performance that makes it competitive at battle rating 5. So it's still under-tiered, but the performance gap that it once held has shrunk in that time. Now that alone actually makes this plane worth grinding for in the Summer Madness event. As much as I don't like machines that are under-tiered or overperforming, if you are going to grind out any plane by completing X number of missions just to get a chance at potentially winning one, this is one that is definitely going to be worth it in terms of its flight performance. But it gets better than that, because as I just said a moment ago, this plane is battle rating 4. Now battle rating 4 is a mid-high Era 3 battle rating. It's where the planes in Era 3, mid to high Era 3 tend to fight, around battle rating 4. But this is an Era 4 aircraft, which receives all of the bonuses that would normally be applied to a high level Era 4 premium. We're talking one of those 6,000 Golden Eagle premiums. That's the level of bonus that is on this thing. Being an Era 4 aircraft, it also receives maximum reward bonus, or maximum efficiency, when grinding aircraft in Era 5. So, just to summarise what the P-63A-10 actually is. This is an aircraft that only fights mid to high Era 3 aircraft, but has the performance of a low to mid Era 4 aircraft, the reward bonuses of a high-end Era 4 premium, and a maximum efficiency at grinding Era 5 jets. This aircraft is straight up the best jet grinder in the Russian tree. The only reason it's not mentioned much is because being a rare premium, it's not one you can purchase. The aircraft is usually only available to unlock once a year. So my first target of this match is an American Premium 109 that went vertical right in front of me. This thing's armed with a 37mm cannon and multiple 50 caliber machine guns. That is the absolute worst thing you could possibly have done. And it's not the only time that it happens in this match. Now, this whole battle is going to be over in about 2 minutes from this point, and the combat itself is not going to be, it's not going to be a lot of twists and turns like you would normally expect from my videos. That's because the A10 is powerful enough that it doesn't need to do that. Taking in an altitude advantage from every single aircraft on the enemy team is absolutely no problem with this plane. Once you have that altitude advantage, maintaining control over the entire enemy team is simply easy in this aircraft. Continuing to follow the P-47, however, he's being pursued by another aircraft, gets a nice kill, immediately begin backing out of the dive. I don't want to sacrifice any more altitude than I already have. At the moment, I've got about 650 kilometers an hour under my belt, point the nose straight back at the sky, and just punch back for altitude. I want to get back to 10,000 feet. However, spot another target, so just continue a loop over and get ready to re-dive on target. Looks like our I-185 is being engaged heavily down there. However, as soon as I began to move to defend, the F4U that was on him broke away and pointed its nose up at me, tried to go vertical to spike me from underneath. So, rather than pushing the nose down and going into a head-to-head, just keep continuing through. P-39N eliminated. Pull back into the vertical to gain altitude. The F4U that tried to spike me is to my 6, however he's now at low energy so he can't pursue, and at that low energy state is being engaged by 2 Russian aircraft. So, by going vertical and trying to get a spike on me, he's actually killed himself. Now there is actually a Typhoon at altitude above me, about 2 kilometers up. It's just broken out of the clouds to my upper and left, so heading back towards my team, putting myself into a position to dive down and start eliminating targets beneath. Now we've got another P-63 down there. I believe it's an A5 model. It looks like the Typhoon that had the altitude advantage behind me actually dove down to engage the I-185 and in the process surrendered his altitude advantage to a Yak-3. So he's now in a 2-on-1 fight to my rear. I don't need to worry about him anymore. P-63 turns to go underneath me while he's engaging his target. pull the nose up, roll over, and then dive directly from above. This gives me better control and better aim to take this target out. Just carefully following the lead, take the shots, critical strike, set both wing tanks on fire, throttle up, pull out of the dive, go back for altitude. And as simple as that, a 3-kill match, and this is one of the first times that I've flown this plane in over a year. That is just how good this machine is. Even without practicing it, without concentrating on it, this machine just kills everything it encounters because it is just so powerful and so good to fly. It's incredibly forgiving because its performance is so high. At any time you find yourself in a situation where you are potentially at risk, you have the aircraft performance to just be able to fly your way out of it without a problem. Reposition yourself to engage the attack, and you don't have to earn that exit out of the combat zone. It's just given to you. So as I said, first place for the team with 3 kills for the match. We've got Professional X2, Shadow Strike Streak X2, Windstreak X3, The Best Squad, Terror of the Sky, and Bulletproof. 82,310 silver lions and 7,082 research points with no multipliers added because I have no aircraft to research. Had I been researching something in Era 4 or Era 5 this match, the research multiplier on just this mission the way it was with no boosters or anything applied at all, this plane would have pulled out around 20 to 25,000 RP in this match quite easily. And as I said earlier in this match, this is why. It's an Era 4 Premium with a 250 plus 250 reward bonus, a 232% research point bonus, and it's only battle rating 4. So it spends its time flying the same aircraft as the I-185, as aircraft like the LA-5FN. It sits in the same category as the Yak-3 and the Yak-9Ts. Best case scenario for this aircraft, it can go into battle against battle rating 3 planes. Worst case scenario, it'll have to fight P-51s at battle rating 5. If you're really set on doing the Summer Madness event, at least you can rest assured knowing that this plane is definitely going to be worth it in the long run. In fact, once you unlock this plane, it's highly likely that you are going to start progressing down the Russian trees faster than you ever have before. This plane will chew its way through the early MiG jets with no problems at all, and it is entirely possible with a premium account and a couple of boosters for you to unlock an aircraft like the MiG-15 Biz in a day using this plane. The only unfortunate side of the Summer Madness event is it means that around Era 4, there's going to be a hell of a lot more of these things in the sky. Anyways, ladies and gents, I hope you enjoyed the video. Click like if you do, subscribe if you want to see more. Fly smart, fly safe, and I'll catch you in the skies.